Hello guys, welcome to a very easy to build and super efficient raid farm. As you can see guys, I'm near a pillager outpost, and what I'm looking for is one of these guys with a banner. I'm here to get a bad omen so I can start my farm, and that's what you need. You need to get one of these guys to get bad omen to start the farm, because the farm isn't here. I've built farms underneath these structures before, and the thing is they're just not very efficient, and you kind of have to kill a lot of these regular pillagers because they kind of join the raids, and you get a lot of crossbows and maybe some XP, but it takes a long time, and that's why I built this. Now at first sight it might seem a bit daunting, but trust me, it's really simple. There's absolutely or almost no redstone, and there's no lava, and there's no bringing up villagers at the different heights or anything like that. So let me show you how it works. You go in here with your bad omen right here, and you place yourself here. And if I just switch to survival, on the right hand side corner of my screen you see I have bad omen. I push up against this, back up, and then I have this button. I push it and I fall down, and then I have a raid started. Then I go over to the water column and get pushed up again to the exactly same level. I have plenty of time, so no need to rush or anything, and I just place myself and look at this slit. This is where I have to kill all the pillagers. But as you see, the raid bar went black, and now it says raid victory. This is a cooldown period, so I have to wait for the raids to be over. But this is not one wave, this is all the waves of the raid that has spawned on top, even though we didn't hear or notice anything. So I just stand here and wait for the raid victory bar to fade away, and when it has faded away I push this button and I start swinging my sword, roughly 1 hit a second, because I want to use the sweeping edge and have full advantage of it. This is important, and I already got bad omen again, as you see. And this, oh, there's so many. I mean, you can't see them, but there's so many up there. So, and now I killed all the waves, all of them. And the way it works is, I do this again, drop down, back up, and do like this, all the way to the killing platform, like so. Close this behind me, back up against it. Look at the raid, and now it turned black. Sometimes, very good when you want to make an example. Sometimes it doesn't make a raid victory, and the reason for this is, I'll show you a bit later, is because the spawning platform, the way I make it, I don't have all the blocks that are needed to spawn every raid, especially when you're high up, like stacked 6 raids, waves on one. Then sometimes not all of the waves load in. Doesn't really matter. It just means that there's no cooldown period, so you can do it even faster. Like so. You might miss out on one wave of the raid, but I mean, that's it. Then you go up like this, and what you lose in that one wave, you absolutely gain in simplicity in building this farm. And it's fast, it's horrendously fast. You get so much loot, and now it says raid victory again. We wait for the cooldown period, because if we don't, we won't get the bad omen when we kill the bannerman. And we kind of want to keep this farm going so we don't have to go back and get bad omen at the pillager outpost. This is a change in one of the previous snapshot, by the way, that you actually get bad omen from the guys in the raids, providing that you're far enough away from the village and the cooling period is gone. And I already got bad omen again, as you see, as I'm killing this wave up here, or these waves I should say. There's a lot of them. I mean, there's so many of them. So here it is. You have, I'm starting a new raid, a 3x5 platform build right on level. When you stand on this block 64 in the water, it's very easy to bring in your villager. You have a bed and you have some kind of workstation. You actually don't even need the workstation as long as the villager has slept once. The farm will work, and you build it up full, and that's it. That's the village here. That's how the game defines a village. Now, the orange dot here and the orange dot there, that is where the center of the village and the center of the raid will be, and that goes all the way through to the top. Now, as you can see, there's not much to this farm. Here you have soul sand to make a bubble column. Here you have an empty column with a waterlogged chest on it, so you drop down at the same level and just can walk backwards into this. The orange blocks just indicate that it's the right above the head of the bed, which is the center of the village and the center of the raid. And I mean, then you just go up, it's just the same, and the wood is just, I mean, I consider it decorative, but they have no purpose at all, and I mean, it doesn't make it very pretty, and you know, or if you know me, you know I kind of hate these farms in the sky. They kind of, I don't think they fit into any world, but I don't think there's a way to make a stacking raid farm without doing it this way. So yeah, and the rates are so good, so you just need to. 5 minutes. 5 minutes of this. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 stacks of emeralds, and I don't know how many tokens for dying and saddles and stuff. I mean, this is insane. And it's very, very, very simple. All the redstone that's to it is these 2 lamps with a button on it, and it goes into this stack of observers pointing upwards, and into another lamp, 2 repeaters, and all they do is kind of turn this torch off, and then extract these sticky pistons that hold the ice. And this is the killing chamber. There's nothing there. It's just stone, massive stone. And these 4 blocks, there, and there, is where all the waves spawn. I will show you in a second how they all spawn in at the same time. But this is the redstone that there is. And they all drop down here, where there's 1 bucket of water placed in this corner. They're all pushed over here, which is exactly above the villager's bed underneath, and they fall down 22 blocks. And the reason they don't fall down 24 is because sometimes some of them takes a bit of damage up here when they are actually crushed by the Ravager, but you'll see that in a second. And that's it. I mean, I will do a block by block tutorial about this, but you can basically almost see how it works. There's nothing to it. There are 2 hoppers here going down to a chest. That's just because otherwise it won't pick up all the loot. I mean, there's crazy amounts of loot, and there's fence gates here just because then they fall down faster, and they kind of accumulate in like 2 rows, but you can easily hit them with a sword if you're a sweeping edge. Let me show you the sword. Oh, I already got bad omen 6. The sword, the ideal sword for this is sharpness 5, looting of course, sweeping edge is important, and then mending, because the sword will repair itself. That's it. Now I need to show you exactly how it works. I need to place myself, for instance, here, and I'm gonna go log in with my son's account, so it will work as a camera account, but you should be able to see it. And now the raid is started down below. Of course, you can't be at both places at once, and the raid bar, even though you can't see it right now, is going, and then there you see they spawn in. They all spawn in, all waves, in that small space. And you see the Ravagers, they're all kind of killed by suffocation in the walls. They don't glitch out, they just die, and if there's an evoker or anyone riding on top of it, they will eventually fall down, and the saddles will land. They won't burn in lava, they will land on the ice, and when we press the button they will be flushed down to the flushing chamber below, and will end in the hoppers as well. It's really, really simple. The farm, I must say, is somewhat, let's go hear it, is somewhat directional. Right now the head of the bed is, that's it, is placed in the southern direction, which means this is this quadrant from the raid center. It's always looking southeast first, and I said before that sometimes you don't get a raid success bar, and that is because these are actually also meant to be spawnable places, but in order to get the ideal suffocation effect, I made them massive, so you sometimes lose out, especially if you have like a level 6 or 5 sometimes raid, you will miss out on a single wave. But I mean, compared to the sheer simplicity of this that you gain when actually wanting to build this in survival, I think it's a small loss. Then we drop it down there. That's what we do down in the chamber, and they fall down. And that's why, or when it's important when you're in survival, that you're swinging all the time, and you're doing it with regular 1 second intervals, because if you don't, I will show you, you might see that an evoker that you hit that doesn't die because you don't have a full sweeping edge will have time to actually spawn vexes, and that is what these minecarts are for. So if that happens, if you panic, doesn't keep your rhythm, that might happen, but let me show you. First, vexes are spawned, but they're getting caught by the minecarts. So you're actually protected. You might have seen, oh, damn it. You might have seen, if you've seen Doublemoses farms or variations of it, you might have seen that some people use boats that they stack up and so on. But the principle is the same, and I find that this very easy setup catches all vexes instantly. So yeah, that's why I made this. I just tried my way, and this works. So let's get rid of these. Yes, yes. And now, because we fell down in the middle of it, there's actually another raid starting. You could automate this. You could automate this whole process. Originally, I saw a video by Doublemoses. He made a fantastic raid farm. I believe he was one of the first that has these stackable raid farms. He figured out much of the mechanics behind it. But his raid farm, simple as it is, still requires you to have clocks, redstone clocks, very specific levels that you build things on, and you have to have transport villagers up in the air and have them on platforms there, and you have to have flying machines upstairs to sweep the pillagers away. And it's in survival, I mean, that's difficult. And then just a few days ago, when I was working on this, Racework launched a video with another raid farm. Works quite similar to this, though the drop down is automated, so that you can actually have it as a full AFK platform, AFK farm. And I mean, I could do this to this farm as well, but then it wouldn't be as simple. But guys, this is it. I promise, as soon as I have some time, I will make you a world download and block by block tutorial. Pretty, it's not. Efficient, it is. Simple to build in survival, it most certainly is. And efficient, wow. I mean, this is amazing. Alright guys, if you liked the video, please give it a like, maybe share it, tell your friends about it, and if you want to see more, you know what to do, subscribe and all that jazz. Bye.